Hello and welcome to a new episode of 60 Seconds here at StartupTV. As every week we are broadcasting live from SpaceTech Co-working here in Berlin, and we are presenting startups who can pitch their idea in less than 60 seconds. My first startup, welcome, it's a battle for me, and they want to revolutionize influencer marketing. How they do that? Let's find out. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Hi, thank you for having me. So it's very simple. Users go on our app, they see new exciting products and services. They're going to create an authentic 15-second video around those products. They collect likes in their social media networks, and if they have the most likes, then they're going to win the product. And this is why we call them winfluencers. For companies, there are a few advantages you might already imagine. They get fresh marketing ideas through the videos, and the networks of the users provide them with the right tracking that they really need for their products, for their brands. For the users, it's exciting to compete against others, and of course, they're going to win a product as a first person, and without paying a dime through our app. And this is why we call them winfluencers. And we really think by turning couch potatoes into influencers, we're going to revolutionize the social media marketing sphere, and we think it's a must-to-have tool for companies.
All right, thanks for the pitch, perfect on timing. So, but if I get this right, like your influencer target group are actually not like this real influencers. They're like more the people who are want to win some free stuff, or are you addressing also like influencers with like 1 million likes or stuff like that?
No, exactly not.
Okay.
We are turning the normal users into influencers. So that means you can have 300 followers, you can have 200, you can have 500, maybe 1,000. After this, we're entering the real influencers. So we really want to show, okay, for you as a company, you better benefit from the consumers, from the end consumers directly, because they provide you with the right ideas. You can reach them directly. You don't need this intermediary anymore. Why should you not need it, and why do you not really need it, is because influencer marketing has become a little bit a question of trustworthiness, authenticity. So we know some of them are being paid. I don't want to discredit the entire influencer marketing. That's not my goal. We are just saying we challenge this traditional influencer marketing by saying, okay, here is a common user, and he can provide you with the right traction, with the right marketing ideas, and you can directly communicate with the buyers of your products.
But I mean, like you mentioned, the influencer market has like some issues or some problems. But actually, I mean, don't you are facing the same problem? Because I mean, the real person could be as well paid or bought, isn't it?
No, there's no payment. I mean, he's not paying us. We are not paying him. He's just going there on our app, on our platform, sees a product like an e-car or a voucher in a fancy restaurant somewhere in Berlin, and says, I want to have it, but I don't have the money or I don't want to pay for it because I'm not a rich influencer. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating this 15-second video. Any idea. You can just sing, you can dance, but it follows a certain task. For a restaurant, it could be, what would you eat with Jennifer Lopez and why? Or it could be any question. It depends on the product and what we agree upon with the company. And then you just create your video, and you have a good chance of winning because you're competing with other common users.
Last question. So, in which stage is the company, and how many companies you already have on your platform, and how many like winfluencers you have?
Stage one. Stage one is today. We just started today. The app is out. We have 2 products. And we have interest of other companies. I know it's easily said, but we're really talking with other companies right now. So we are very fresh, and this is why we're glad to be here, because this is day 1. So if people want to go and download the app, it's battle4.me, and there you can win 2 exciting products.
All right, thanks for the pitch. Thanks for joining your day 1 at 60 Seconds of StartupTV. And yeah, if you want to find out more about Battle for Me, then give them a try and let us know what you think about. And if you want that we have to focus more with a special story, then yeah, give them a vote. And the startup with the most votes, as always, get a special story on StartupTV. Second startup, it's Better at Home, and they are providing a solution for age-appropriate living, if I get that right. So yeah, let's hear more about that. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Hello, nice to meet you. Better at Home. Better at Home. We are offering a full service, all-inclusive solution to give elderly people, especially elderly people, the opportunity to stay as long as home as possible. Self-determined and also safe. We are working together with a combination of sensors, software and local services. So it's possible to do something like alarm or remembering services, like emergency calls, telemedicine, medication applications, and so on. We are offering this full service package with different partners, for example, doctors, hospitals, outpatient care centers, and so on, and we're delivering everything out of one hand. It's also very interesting for partners like real estate industry, health insurance companies, but also for people that want to care for their elderly people like parents and so on. That's it.
All right, perfect, on time. So you are bringing like the different stakeholders who are facing that problem, who are working on solutions for that problem, you are bringing them together, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's it. We are more or less a platform with a combination bringing people together, regional, local services, like mentioned before, like doctors, etc., but also then delivering technical equipment like sensors for movement, like something with water overflow, but also the software, a very smart software that knows if something is wrong, who has to be called if, for example, the balcony door or something is longer open than 3 hours.
And who are you addressing? I mean, are you addressing like the, is it like B2C? So you're addressing the people who are like afraid of or want to have a solution for like their parents or for their grandparents?
So it's more or less both. It's B2B and it's B2B2C. It's also very interesting for the parents of some guys, so for the end users, but it's also very interesting for health insurance companies, so keeping expenses lower because inpatient care is much more expensive than keeping the elderly people at home, but it's also very interesting for the real estate industry. So if the tenant is leaving the apartment, then he is getting no more rent. That's not true in Berlin, but we have a very large scale of regions where no one wants to go into a house or want to stay in the house as long as possible. That's it.
All right. Also for you, the question: in which stage are you? How many people can stay still at home with your solution?
At the moment, we have approximately 100 end users, and we have already started the rollout. So we are negotiating and discussing with several partners in regional hubs, like mentioned before, statutory health insurance, the real estate industry. So we are in the rollout phase. We have a product that's ready. You can roll out it, you can buy it, and we can start wherever in Germany tomorrow.
All right. What are your problems you're facing? Where you need help?
We need help. We are looking for partners, regional partners, service providers, and we are looking for hybrid financing models, meaning that the end customer has to pay a very few amount. We are starting with a monthly package, approximately 50 euros, but including hardware, software, sensors, installation, maintenance, and so on. And we are looking for co-financing, for example, via health insurance companies.
All right. Thanks for the pitch. If you want to hear more about Better at Home, then give them a vote, and if they get the most votes, we will cover them with a special story. So, third startup, it's LiveEO, and they are monitoring large-scale infrastructure grids. So, how does that work, and what you're doing exactly? Let's find out. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Hi. So at LiveEO, we're using space technology to monitor large-scale infrastructure grids like railways, electricity grids, and oil and gas pipelines to enable the operators of these infrastructure grids to take care of our backbone of our modern society. You have to see there are more than 20 million kilometers of infrastructure, and they connect the cities, they enable our modern industrial society, and because they are so important, these infrastructure grids need to be monitored. This is currently done in a highly ineffective way. You walk alongside these grids, you take cars, you maybe take a helicopter to monitor vegetation, third-party interactions, and ground deformations. What we do is we use space technology to monitor infrastructure grids on a global scale, so empower the operators of these networks, for example, Deutsche Bahn, electricity companies, to be more efficient, and for us as the end user to have a more reliable infrastructure grid.
All right, 5 seconds.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'm good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, space technology, of course, like always sounds awesome. But yeah, I guess. But like maybe for people who are like not so much into this maintenance market, how does that work? What are you doing exactly?
Over the past few years, there was a tremendous advancement in Earth observation. You have hundreds of satellites in orbit which monitor every place on Earth every single day. We take this data and apply artificial intelligence to, for example, detect where trees are too close to electricity grids. And you probably have heard about the California wildfires. They were caused by vegetation which was too close to electricity grids. And we can detect this and can tell the operators to cut back the trees. Or another use case is that we can say where there are ground deformation which could lead to cracks in oil pipelines, which should be stopped. Yeah.
All right. And also for you, in which stage are you with what companies you are already working on, and yeah, what are maybe your next steps?
Yeah, so we're working with Deutsche Bahn, and we're in several pilot projects with electricity customers and pipeline customers. We just closed our 7-digit seed round. We've opened our office in Berlin-Kreuzberg, and we're currently looking for new developers to build up all our end user products for the managers, for the people on ground, and yeah, we are of course also now in the process of selling our product.
All right. Space technology, office in Kreuzberg, everything sounds correct. Last question maybe also for you. I mean, infrastructure is a big field, so are you concentrating on, or can you work with all kind of infrastructure, or where is there the space where you work?
Yeah, so we're really just focusing on line infrastructure like railways, electricity grids, and oil and gas pipelines. And there we focus on vegetation, third-party interactions, and height deformation. So it's a very B2B environment we're working in, but it helps each and every one of us every single day.
All right, thanks for the pitch. Same here, if you want to hear more about LiveEO, then give them a vote, and if they have the most votes, then we will cover them with a special story more in detail. Last but not least, I have StartupIO, not StartupTV, IO, stand-ups. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, all right. Then it's stand-ups, of course, makes also much more sense because you are helping remote workers with like stand-up solutions for video meetings, if I get that right.
Yes.
But let's hear more about that. Your 60 seconds starts now.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. I'm JP Pincheira, solo founder of StartupTV, which is basically a communication tool for remote teams. So, you know, you've heard probably that remote work is a trend that is really coming up lately and more being adopted by companies of all sizes. They say that 50% of the workforce will be remote in the US by 2020, also in the UK. So remote work is really good for companies and for employees as well. So basically what happens, so it has a few challenges around time zones, especially when you're working remote around the world and you're part of a team member or a team member around the world, right? And that's why we started StartupTV. So basically it's a tool to touch on a daily basis within your working team, with short video messages in the style of Snapchat, or you've seen it also with the story UI on Instagram.
All right, 60 seconds are over. So you described pretty well the problem. Maybe if I give you that question, yes, what is your solution? Like how you are doing that, and yes, how do you make that better?
Yeah, so basically what we do is we have a platform, web and mobile apps, where you send a short video message up to 2 minutes. You can tweak it up to even 5 minutes, but a 2-minute message where you tell your team what you worked on, where you're going to work on during the day, and if you have any impediments. And as the day goes by and people start, starting their day in their countries, they already have information about what other team members did around the world, and if they need any help or if they're stuck with anything.
But I mean, we use Slack, so I can just like write a Slack note or like put it on like project management and give the just an update information. Why I have to use like an extra tool?
That's a great question. So what happens is, like, usually with distributed teams, you don't get to have this face contact we're having right now, and there's a lot of stuff that gets just missed by knowing the chat persona or the email or text persona. So I feel, and it has helped a lot of our clients to have this video regardless of if you're far away from each other. I know people at Microsoft, they need to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning just to make it for a live call, and they rotate who is the one who needs to get up at 2 a.m. So this is what we're trying to solve by using non-real-time video messaging for remote teams.
All right. Also for you, last question, which stage are you? How many companies or people are using already your solution?
We have around 100 companies, and we're just currently growing. Very early stages still, but having conversations. We have like clients that we can't reveal, but ranging from big tech companies from the Silicon Valley area to small teams that are remote as well.
All right. Thanks for the pitch. So if you are working remote and want to bring it some improvement, or if you have like remote workies, then give them a try and let us know what you think about. And then if they get the most votes, we will cover then more in detail. That was already it for today's show, but before we are finishing, we have to announce the winner of not the last week, because last week we had a great new holiday here in Berlin, but from the last show, and it's Dear Plus. So we will cover them in the next weeks more in detail, and I see you next week. Until then, don't forget, do epic shit. Bye-bye.